Fletcher Robinson is dead. As his poisonous liquid is running through his body, he's just 36 years old. But let us turn back the time a little to where our story started. It is the year 1896, and Fletcher Robinson has a good family background and a respectable job as a journalist. He resides in Marylebone, one of the finer areas of London, and still finds himself in excellent health. He and his best friend Artie, a writer and bon vivant, meet on an almost daily basis. There, in Fletcher's dark wood-paneled sitting room, the two gentlemen converse, invent thrilling detective stories while sipping a few drops of sherry. Fletcher's newest creation tells of a mysterious haunting that brings fear and terror to the Devonshire community. Thanks to his master storytelling, it is almost as if the dark wall paneling turns into humid patches of mist, and one can almost smell the foul odor of the swamp at night. The story is published in 1901, but not under Fletcher's name. Instead, the book names Artie as its author. Fletcher is mentioned only in a footnote that is missing in the second edition. A few moments later, Fletcher Robinson dies at an uncommonly young age. Artie moves into the house of his former best friend. But upon entering the sitting room and gazing on his friend's portrait, he feels a sudden pain in his heart. He decides to react. The eyes in the painting, although lifeless, never seemed so accusing. So with trembling hands, he removed the picture. Be gone. But on the next day, the pain in the chest was back. History had finally caught up with Artie. Lacking any composure at all, he ran through the house, collecting all the diary entries, all the manuscripts, and he wished he channeled all the gruesome guilt, all the torturing thoughts, and all his mind-crushing memories in this portrait. He wished that in a figurative sense, Fletcher Robinson would go to hell. The nightmare seemed over. Artie took a deep breath and fell down on the floor of the sitting room for the final time. His last words were uttered in silence, and he still wasn't able to understand why Fletcher was still looking at him. This is how Artie died. The man we have to thank for the wonderful detective stories about Master Sloth's Sherlock Holmes. The writer who, while he was still alive, was never accused of plagiarism and not once suspected of murder. What you've just heard is a true life story. But aren't we more than just our life stories? So the following story is exactly that. A story about life itself, about us. But what are we? What defines us? What distinguishes you and me? I say we are composed of our dreams, our desires, and our memories. And just as this ancient puzzle is filled out by its pieces, so too we store our defining elements inside us, leaving no room for anything else. In the puzzle of life, every piece stands for something of importance to us. The yearning for freedom, the desire to feel the wind in one's face. Love of a good meal. Or the death of a good friend who passed away much too soon. Or the first kiss of true love. Right next to the excitement about the marzipan seeds that were in the stores at Christmas. People say it takes a lifetime to master the game of life. Don't worry, we won't need that long. For us, it is enough to know that we will be capable of forming a unit. But once we've done so, then destiny strikes and brings a new challenge in our lives. And suddenly, order turns into chaos. A new perspective can help our awareness. And so we think about what defines us. We embrace the changes and thus succeed in becoming whole again. But never take things for granted, because life interrupts our gentle flow with an even greater obstacle. But now, it almost seems that if it's easy, because now we, you and me, have learned how to become an entity. And just as we are composed of our dreams, our desires, and our memories, so too does the puzzle of life exactly fit each person's framework. My name is Siebensinn, and I wish you all the strength and inspiration to master your own puzzle of life.